Following the Republic defeat at the hands of the Separatist blockade over Ryloth, Republic forces were forced to formulate a new plan to breach the Separatist blockade. Ryloth had been under Separatist occupation since very early on in the war, and it was crucial that Republic forces breach this blockade soon so aid could be sent to the freedom fighters on the surface. The first attempt to breach this blockade ended in disaster, with 2 of the 3 Venator-class Star Destroyers sent to breach the blockade being significantly damaged, one being completely destroyed. After Republic forces had withdrawn from the battle space, a cunning plan was thought up by General Skywalker. The heavily damaged Venator-class Star Destroyer, the Defender, was evacuated of all personnel and prepared for a solo mission. After all personnel had been removed from the damaged ship, Skywalker and his astromech R2-D2 made their way over to the stricken Venator-class destroyer and began preparing it for use as a battering ram. Meanwhile, Ahsoka Tano was left to command the Resolute, Skywalker's personal flagship, and carry out a follow-up attack after Skywalker had utilized the Defender to damage the Separatist control ship. Skywalker jumped the damaged Defender right in front of the Separatist blockade and immediately began transmitting a signal to them. This signal declared his intentions to surrender both his ship, himself, and the crew over to Separatist commanders. The commander of the Separatist blockade, seeing this as an opportunity to gain personal prestige, graciously accepted Skywalker's offer to surrender. Skywalker then began piloting the Defender closer and closer to the Separatist fleet. However, the Separatists started to notice that something was off when the Defender wasn't decelerating. Before they could react, the heavily damaged Defender crashed into the core section of the Lucrehulk-class battleship, with Skywalker and R2-D2 being able to escape in an escape pod moments before the impact. The end result caused the total destruction of the Separatist command ship, and right on cue, the Resolute jumped into system. However, the Resolute was still outmatched by the remaining Munificent-class star frigates, so Republic commanders had to employ some unorthodox tactics. A strategy known as a Marge Sable was executed by Republic forces. This is where they turned the bottom of the Venator-class Star Destroyer towards the Separatist fleet. This shielded the hangar decks and the bridge from incoming Separatist fire. Seeing this and being confused by this move by the Republic, the Munificent-class star frigates, now under the command of a single B-1-class commander droid, began approaching the oddly positioned Republic starship. Not knowing what else to do, the Separatist fleet simultaneously opened fire on the reinforced hull on the bottom of the Venator-class Star Destroyer. With the shields focused to the lower section of the hull, it had all the protection it could receive. Not having fighters, having expended most of their fighters in the previous engagement, the Separatists were left just using the weapon systems on board their ships, as opposed to being able to launch strike craft. This became a problem as the ventral hangar bays on the Resolute opened and deployed flights of Y-wing bombers. These Y-wing bombers were able to strike at the Separatist fleet basically unopposed, with Separatist point defense too busy shooting at the underside of the Venator. These bombing attacks absolutely decimated the Separatist fleet, leaving many of the Munificents scrambling for help. With the Separatist fleet now in chaos, its command ship destroyed, and a good portion of the Munificent-class frigates under the fleet's command in ruin, the Separatist blockade started to disintegrate. As the bombers mopped up the last remaining Munificent-class star frigates and cleared a way for Republic forces, a fleet of Acclamator-class assault ships jumped into system, preparing to carry out a ground invasion of Ryloth. Ultimately, breaching this blockade was absolutely crucial for the Republic. Failing to seize Ryloth would leave the Republic in a very poor strategic situation in this portion of the Outer Rim, and having failed in their first attempt, the second attempt would have had to succeed for a ground invasion to have been viable. Had this attack failed, the Republic would have missed their window to carry out a ground invasion, and given the Separatists a good amount of time to reinforce their garrisons on the surface of Ryloth. And clearing the Separatist blockade was obviously necessary for getting Republic troops to the surface of Ryloth. But the Republic invasion of Ryloth is a story for another day. If you'd like to learn about the first attempt to breach the Separatist blockade, I'll leave a link in the upper right-hand corner to my battle analysis video on that engagement. And if you have any other battles you'd like to see covered in future episodes of Battle Analysis and added to the archive, you can let me know down below in the comments. Last but not least, if you enjoyed this video, head down below, hit the like button, the subscribe button, and the bell icon so you get notified when I upload new videos. So for Sci-Fi Deep Dive, I'm Colin, and I will see you next time.